bold prediction season on this show just means what's pretty bold, but you actually believe it'll happen, and you'll let me be public with it. So like tonight, we got a lot of boldness on the show tonight. I've got 3 out of 4 predictions that are 9.5 or bolder. The first one is very disrespectful to LSU. I just got to be honest. From Medford, New Jersey, Clemson beats LSU in week 1 by 3+ touchdowns. Well, okay. Now, famously, LSU is allergic to winning week 1 games. They haven't won an opener since 2019. But, man, you're going to beat them by 21+? We're just going to, for the sake of argument, we'll say 3 touchdowns is 21+. Both of these teams are top 25 returning production. Both of them are very plus at the QC or quarterback, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator spots. Head coaches are the same there that they've been for several years. The LSU portal class, number 1 in the country. Now, if you're telling me you think it's going to take a while for all of those pieces for LSU to gel, and Clemson's going to be a well-oiled machine out of the gate, plus it's Clemson at home at night, I believe that game will be. Okay, I just don't know about a 21-point blowout, so I'm putting a 9.5 on the boldness scale there. Next up, this one gets a 10 from me. All College Football from Brunswick, Georgia said Georgia and Penn State face off in the national title game with identical 15-0 records. Now that's a 10. Specificity there. That's a 10. Even if you just told me Georgia versus Penn State for the national title, I would have put maybe a 9.25 on that. But they are the 3rd and 5th teams in the odds. So that's not crazy. It's not some crazy prediction. But, man, both of them being undefeated. Do you know Georgia, to be undefeated, would have to beat 7 of the preseason top 25 teams in the odds. Just in the regular season, Georgia will have played 7 of the top 25 teams. Then they will have played another one in the SEC title game. That's 8. And then they will have played 2 more prior to the national title game to get there. So that's Georgia going 10-0, theoretically, against top 25 teams. Many of those would be top 10 caliber teams. And meanwhile, Penn State will have had to beat Oregon, Ohio State, Iowa, probably Ohio State or Oregon again in the Big Ten title game. Then they have to play 2 games prior to the national title game. So it's so unlikely. So I put a 10 on that. Next up, this hasn't happened in a long time, but apparently the drought is over. Roanoke, Virginia checking in. 2025 season for Notre Dame will be like 2016 for Clemson. They reached the national title game the year before. They came up short. They come back the next year. They win it all with a program-changing quarterback at the helm. That's pretty vivid. Okay. So, I'm putting a 9.5 on it because it's hard to win a national title. Notre Dame has the 7th best odds, tied for the 7th best odds, to win it all. They are eligible to have a first-round bye. Remember, this year, with the way the format is, they play 3 really, really high-level opponents. They play Miami week 1 on the road. They play A&M a few weeks later at home. They play USC at home. Elsewhere, their schedule is very manageable. Let me cut in really quick and ask, look, prayer hands, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you think you're subscribed, check and make sure. Over 50% of you aren't. It's free, it doesn't sign you up for anything, and it helps us keep the show free, college football year-round, the way God intended it. All right, back to the clip. Best skill profile that they've had there in a long time. Now, C.J. Carr's a first-year starter at quarterback, but when you look at the running game he'll have, the O-line he'll have in front of him, the pass catchers that are better there than they've been in a while, if they get there again, it means all that's validated. Like if they're in the game, that means it's all validated. So I got no doubt. If they get loose in the playoffs, I got no doubt about that. It's just getting back there that's tough. So I'm going to put a 9.5 on Notre Dame winning the whole thing. And the last one here got some Mississippi State flavor in the show. From Jackson, Mississippi. Mississippi State wins 2 games. They finish dead last in the SEC, and they fire Jeff Lebby after 2 seasons. I put an 8.75 on this. All right, so they're going to win 2 games. Their over-under win total is 3.5. So by Vegas standards, it's not crazy. They've gone from 9-4 to 5-7 to 2-10. Last year was Lebby's first year. So they went 2-10 in his first year. Here's the thing I want you to know about Mississippi State. If you want real Mississippi State coverage, you listen to us. Because up to and including Brandon Walker, I'm giving you more thorough Mississippi State analysis than anyone on the national scene. The thing you'll notice about Mississippi State this year that looks way different than last year is defensive line depth. They also added 3 coaches with former head coaching experience. It will make a difference. The roster is not there yet, but it will look leaps and bounds better this year than it did last year. And for them to only win 2 games, look at the schedule. So they play an SEC slate. So that's 8 tough games. They play Arizona State. That's a 9th tough game. So they got to lose like all those games. And then they got to lose 2 out of 3 to Southern Miss, Alcorn State, and Northern Illinois. Well, they got to lose one of those games. And that's if they lose all 9 of the other ones. I just think they're going to be better than that. So I got an 8.75 on that. And did we have a 5th tweet? Someone said we had a 5th tweet, but I don't. We normally just do 4. Blake hit us with a 5th prediction. Blake from Nashville. I think Brandon Walker will gain more pounds during the season than Mississippi State will have wins. We don't do that. We can't do that on this show. To a friend of the program, we can't do that. So Colin, I just ask that you take that down. We got to get that off the screen. They're telling me the screen's frozen. So you're telling me that we have to keep the slanderous prediction about Brandon Walker up because our system messed up at the end of the show, and now Blake's calling for Brandon Walker to gain more pounds than Mississippi State has wins this year, something I'm totally opposed to being said on this show, and you're telling me we can't even take it down? We don't have that power? I apologize. I hate this, but, since we've got it up, let me do this where I can screenshot that later for personal use.